The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets are 0-3, and everyone wants to know, why is this happening again? Robby Sabo has some answers for us. We'll break that down and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Tuesday. Let's hit it and get it started.
There's no such thing as moral victories when it comes to us. Everyone says same old Jets. I hate that term, and I really don't know what that term means. They're not the same old Jets. We're 0-3. Make sure you look at the game.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Please click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do so, because every Tuesday we bring on this guy, Robby Sabo, the co-founder of JetX, JetsXFactor.com. He's returned back from Tampa, where he was the life of the party Saturday night at gas bars with all the Asmaniacs. Mr. Sabo, how we feeling?
Good, man. Good. I'm quite proud of myself. I did the Irish goodbye and slipped out. So I maintained a responsible night. So if anyone missed any goodbyes, it was because I didn't say goodbye to you freaks. It was great meeting everyone. I needed to hear the names. And once I heard the name or the user handle, I was like, oh, yes, I remember you. Parkinson was hiding somewhere, though. I couldn't find him.
You didn't run into Will? He was right in the middle the whole time, it felt like.
I actually did a once around, and I still couldn't find him. I was actually trying to seek him out. But yeah, everyone was great. Terraman was great. All the fans. It's quite a community, let me tell you that.
I enjoyed being the one to introduce you to Fireman Ed. I thought that was tremendous.
Fireman Ed is good. I can't believe he knows where Port Jervis is. That might be the first person in history for me to say, do you know Port Jervis? And he says, yes. It blew my mind.
I love it. It was a great time, man. And unfortunately, the great time stopped around 1 p.m. on Sunday, as these things typically go. The Jets, they lose to the Bucs. Everyone knows what happened. Robby, you went back through the tape. I know you have a lot of thoughts on how things played out. A couple days now removed from this game. How should Jet fans be feeling about the state of the Jets?
I think, in flying back and forth, I listened to a lot of your stuff. I really dug into the tape as compared to usual. The high-level thoughts are these. The NFL clearly rewards the strategist head coach. I think it's undeniable at this point, inarguable. When for those who played Madden in the past or NCAA, you can create your own coach and pick the archetype, motivator, technician, strategists, what have you, recruiter, if you're an NCAA. It's a world now where it is strategist. That is the most important thing. So that's the number, when you look at O'Connell and McVay and Reed and you go down the board, that's Campbell. Some might argue Campbell's not. I argue he is, based on what he's still doing without so many coaches gone. Sirianni, same thing. Harbaugh, again, he's not an offensive or defensive strategist, but he's a game management strategist. He's smart, and he picks the right guys. That's the first thing. Is Glenn that? We know he's a motivator. And I saw Beningo getting mad about the no, not Beningo, someone else. Beningo was defending him. Someone else getting mad about him celebrating down the sideline. Whatever. I don't care. That's the big thing. Is Glenn the strategist? I'm not saying yes or no, but I think that's the first thing that Glenn and the Jets have to understand, that this NFL rewards the strategist head coach, especially offensively. And that's not to say Glenn can't work out. Glenn can work out. What I've seen from Engstrand is really encouraging still, even based on 2 days ago. That's the first theme. Second theme, this Jets team isn't even close to as talented as last year, and we're not talking about it. They chose to go notches below in big time in terms of production talent at quarterback. That's one. Why do we not acknowledge this? It's okay to acknowledge this. The positives that Glenn went in a different direction with Fields, that running style, there's some positives there. You like that in a lot of ways. But from a 50,000-foot view, the talent's not the same. That's one. Tyrod's very conservative, what I saw on tape. We know he is. He's a backup. That's how you make a career as a backup quarterback. So I think those are the two things. But talent everywhere else, DJ Reed or Stevens, you didn't have Jermaine. Jermaine was out this week. There's so many examples. Conklin, probably still better than Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor's a rookie. He's going to be a lot better. But in terms of veteran and wherewithal, from last year to this year, it's a stark difference.
It just feels like it's been more of the same so far.
Yes.
The talent is clearly not as good in some areas. We knew that. But like you look at what has happened so far, the missed tackles, the undisciplined moments that have still creeped up and have killed this team, the terrible turnovers, right? The pick six by Tyrod just cannot happen. The inability to force.
We have to throw Garrett in there too. And a lot of Jets fans don't talk about this enough. Garrett has to come back to the ball and fight for his team's life in that situation, period. It was 10-6 with the Jets having the ball.
13-6, but yes.
It was 13-6? Okay, 13-6. It can't happen. And when you don't have a dominant offense, you're going to be in cutthroat games. That's just the way it is. And as Jets fans, I mean, 2 games lost at the buzzer. Well,
they find ways to lose, and the well-coached teams find ways to win. They are awful defensively. That to me is the biggest concern. And
the tackling
so disappointing.
Has been ridiculous. Agreed.
Their coach is a defensive coach.
Yes.
Wilkes is an experienced DC. I think I saw the stats, 7 years combined of coordinating experience between those two. And their defense has been terrible. And anytime they needed a big stop, they have failed. And that has cost them. They could easily be at the bare minimum 1-2, if not 2-1, if the defense played to its talent level. And people will say, they're not that good. They have enough talent to be better than allowing 30-plus points a game. Stop it. They should not be this bad. They should not be missing 19 tackles when Glenn's emphasis in training camp was tackling. So that to me is alarming. I know Fields is probably not the guy. I know Tyrod is a backup. The defense being horrendous is like that cannot happen. They have to fix that.
From a general perspective through 3 games, totally agree with you 100%. 2 days ago in Tampa, Wilkes actually called a pretty good game. I have to say that. He played zone. He blitzed in the right spots. Tampa scored 1 touchdown offensively. 1. I think it's okay to say it's been a disappointment for the entire season, but the way Wilkes called the game at Buffalo, I crushed him. I came on here and crushed him. It was awful. You play man coverage against Buffalo's receivers. I get the idea. You think your guys could lock up theirs because they don't have special receivers. I like Keon Coleman, but I understand the thought process. But you didn't do game plan specific things against Josh Allen. Against the Bucs, Wilkes called a really good game, but it was the tackling. It was the Malachi Moore. Listen, Malachi Moore, we talk about defenders, Jets defenders, never getting picks, never making plays. He's a playmaker. It's just that he's so young, he keeps guessing. 2 times late, he guessed at the sticks and would have got burned if Mayfield hit his guys in stride.
When you say they only allowed 1 touchdown, though, they allowed 2. Mayfield had a passing touchdown, and then they had the other touchdown. They only scored 1 offensive touchdown in that game?
Let's double check this because now I'm doubting myself.
It doesn't sound. They put up 29. We know it was on the pick 6.
How many field goals?
I guess there were more field goals than I'm remembering here. Yeah, because what's his name? McLaughlin hit
he
5 field goals. You're right.
Yeah, he hit 5.
They
gave up 1 touchdown. Yeah. So in this
it just feels like they were awful because when they needed the big stop, they didn't get it. They missed a ton of tackles.
Dude, listen, I talk to you.
They didn't fall on a fumble.
I don't disagree with you. From a general perspective, through 3 games, it's been god awful. God awful. I guess it's just the coach in me that looks at the tape and the game plan. And at the top, the strategy end of it, like that's the thing I'm really trying to hone in on.
So why are they so bad tackling, do you believe? Because that was such a point of emphasis over the summer.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they ran. Let's be honest here for a second. They ran tackling drills, which is very abnormal at the NFL in this modern age. But let's not pretend that it was Bear Bryant Junction Boys. let's not go too far. It's still like his camp. It was up tempo, which I liked. It was get after it. It was physical, much more physical than what I've seen. But it still fit within the framework of today's modern NFL, if that makes sense. One of the biggest things, Quincy Williams, he is so out of control in terms of pursuit. That cutback who was a Bucky Irving off the right side, Quincy just not only did he take himself out of the play, he took two others out of the play in the cutback. And that's something that we've seen from Quincy for years. Michael Carter has been not good this year whatsoever. And I've been his biggest fan always. And he's missing tackles. So Muwaga, when you watch the tape, he had, interestingly, Muwaga and Barron kind of I'm optimistic on based on the little I saw from them in this week 3 tape. Muwaga brings a heaviness that they really need in terms of stopping the run. Yet Bucks only ran for 3.4 yards per carry in this game. So they're working with a lot of inexperience. And I think we just have to keep in mind this team, again, it's really, they're so young. They're so young and they're not schooled right. They're not schooled right and they're trying to get the bad habits out.
The rep that we saw from AZ Thomas, I know your co-founder, Mr. Michael Nania, tweeted it. For him to basically come in cold like that.
Yeah, dude.
In, a critical juncture late in the 4th and have lockdown coverage on Ibuka. I'd like to see more of him this week, especially when you're playing a Dolphins team that does have true playmakers on the outside in Hill and Waddle. So I'd like to see more of him as you're talking about some of the other younger players on this defense.
Agreed. And he came in cold. Was that his first play or was it his second play? I can't remember.
Either his first or one of the first. Like
yeah,
it was like he came in and immediately Baker tried to test him.
He came in, locked him down. So I would love to see a lot more of him too. Malachi, I hope he stays in the lineup. Muwaga, the third linebacker in the base. I hope he keeps improving. Barron too. I'm not trying to sell everyone that Barron was great. I'm just saying he was firmly in the rotation, and what I saw was semi-encouraging in terms of moving forward. Cisco, I think Cisco and Malachi are so polar opposite when they play high. And the Jets, as opposed to Buffalo, where they played single high press so much, in this game they played a lot of zone, a lot of two deep, blitzed in good spots. The final drive, for example, I think this is a good area to talk about. I think Wilkes did the right thing. He blitzed on 3 of the first 4 plays. One of the blitzes was even Michael Carter rushing and McDonald dropping. And I think people would pull their hair out. Why would you have McDonald drop? I get it from that respect. But here's the thing you think about. This NFL, it is incredibly difficult to stop anyone on the last moment drive offensively. About a minute and a half left. You're only up a point. A field goal kills you. So how do you play it? You got to play it aggressively. You have to attack the quarterback. If you get him, great. If you don't get him, you get the ball back, hopefully, with time left. So from that respect, in terms of strategy, understanding the landscape of the game, this is a thing. They played it aggressively in the right situation that I didn't see from the previous regime. So even though it didn't work, we got to be fair. It's very difficult to stop them. It didn't work for D'Amico in Houston either. Week after week, quarterbacks are doing this to every defense. There's no such thing as defense in the NFL anymore.
That's why you got to force turnovers, right? The Lions gave up a lot of points too last night, but they forced 2 huge turnovers in the game last night, and that was the difference maker.
Yeah, it's hold on for your dear life. It's not defense. It's hold on for dear life. And I'm not trying to say
make a play.
Yes,
Someone's got to make a play. I'm
not trying to say the Jets defense played great. I like what I saw strategy-wise compared to Buffalo. And from the players, it's hit and miss.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with the great Robby Sabo, who was at our big-time 300-plus as Maniac party with the Tampa Jets crew on Saturday. There's Mr. Sabo and Fireman Ed. And, Sabo, the ladies were flocking. You look at Leany in North Carolina trying to get up close and personal. You look sauced here.
Come on, I had a water. I just had a water, and that's it. Unless someone roofied me, it's a possibility. I was a little woozy towards the end.
Couple announcements here. One, we are going to be announcing the winners of the Asmaniac raffle during this show. And I want to do something that we did last week. And I mean, until the Jets win a game, we might have to keep doing this because it at least gives people some inspiration. For the second time ever, you could enter today's 3 signed football raffle in show. So if you gift a membership, it will go towards today's raffle and the top prize in next week's raffle, which features a signed jersey by each member of the New York Sack Exchange. So last chance to enter today's raffle that features a signed Darrell Revis football, a signed Sauce Gardner football, and Robbie's co-host on the Underdog Jets podcast, a signed Wayne Corbett football. So you get 2 weekly raffle entries today. Next week's, the Sack Exchange jersey, and our 3 signed football raffle coming up in just a bit. I'm going to play something for you as we transition now to talking about the offense. This was Brian Baldinger yesterday of NFL Network, works for the Jets, pride of Massapequa, Long Island, friend of the show. Here's Baldy's breakdown on some plays in the game. I want to play it and then get your immediate thoughts on what the hell was going on with the Jets offensive line and why they couldn't pick up a blitz.
Todd Bowles attacked the weak side of this Jets offense, like start to finish yesterday. Inside linebacker, extra back. Back picks up the linebacker, and the extra back comes free. Now, that ball was completed. Benjamin Morrison gets Garrett Wilson out of bounds. They would stuff him on 4th and 1. But unless you stop it, unless you burn them on this, like here it is, inside linebacker, extra back. Here comes Antoine Winfield. Ball's out, fumble, Vita Vea recovers. They just kept bringing it. Here comes Dennis here, number 8, right? All right. Braylon Allen sticks up. Here comes Jacob Parrish. All right. Like ball's tipped. All right. Batted down. Like here it is. It's 3rd and 10. Here it is. Same, like until you stop it, until you beat it, Todd Bowles just going to keep dialing it up. Sacked that time by Parrish. All right. A hold by the left tackle. And then ultimately, the biggest defensive play of the day for the Bucs, same blitz. Here comes Jacob Parrish here. All right, they blitz the inside linebacker, Levante David, and this ball sails off of Tyrod Taylor and Jamel Dean, takes it 55 yards for a touchdown. Like, until you stop those pressures, he'll just keep coming with it. And it was probably the difference in the game.
The turnover, the pick 6, absolutely was the difference in the game. What did you make of that breakdown?
Baldy's right. Bulls attacked that side, but I'll submit this. I don't think it was necessarily intentional for Simpson and Fashanu. I think it was more so attack the right-handed quarterback's left side, blind side. And on top of that, what you saw Bulls do, and this is common for strategy, roll the coverage a little bit. Keep the coverage on that side a little thinner because it's harder to throw into that traffic. So that's what mad bomber blitzers do in terms of DCs. There were some pass pro issues. I'll grant you that. No question about it. And they got to get it cleaned up. But there were also instances where Tyrod just doesn't get rid of it quick enough. And there were some spots where Bulls caught them in a route concept that didn't have a nice hot where you could just get it off. So it's a combination of a lot of different things. Wasn't great. They got to clean it up, no question. But in terms of game plan, when they started the game, what we saw from Engstrand, and here is a huge missed opportunity for the Jets. The first 2 drives were great. Tremendous. They came out. They remember what happened in week 2. Okay, Buffalo guessed. They just bullied us. They took us to the woodshed. In this game, they knew but the Bucs were going to do the same thing. Bowles is a mad blitzer. He's even a run blitzer. He'll try to get you in a 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11 or 2nd and 9. So what do? They come out passing. They come out play action. They come out creative. And they're both scoring drives, the 2 opening drives.
Well, the penalty by Arian Smith, not knowing how to line up, that killed that drive. They were moving the ball.
Arian Smith or Mason, who would... it could have been on Mason Taylor. I'm not sure.
Smith was the first penalty. Taylor had the one on the next drive.
Well, no. The one where Smith was off the line, I don't know. Did Glenn clarify that? I haven't heard his presser from yesterday. It could have been Arian Smith's fault where he should have been on the line, or it could have been Mason Taylor's fault where he should have been on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because they were both on the same side, and one of those 2 weren't on the line. So it's a killer. It's a crusher. You just can't have it.
It felt like, though, the scripted stuff worked early.
Yes.
It was kind of like Gase-like. Like the Jets always would have like a couple good early drives and then nothing else. And while they did rally and move the ball a lot better in the second half, it felt like they were way too quick to adjust to the blitzing concepts they were getting. Like we didn't see the quick game. We didn't see enough screens until they were really down. Then they started to, get an up tempo and they had some answers for some of that.
Fair. And that's what I said too. I mentioned to someone up top, the scripted game plan. I mean, I can't rave about it more. After that, I think it was a combination of a couple of different things. Tampa, they just tried to get their run game going a little bit. Tampa was doing a pretty good job standing up straight. Tyrod got hit a few times. And even if you don't think it's happening, sometimes it's happening where you're just a little late. You're just a little hectic and frantic in your brain after getting hit. And I think that held him back a little bit. And he just didn't pull the trigger in certain spots. But guys, there were open targets at times. I mean,
Yeah.
in terms of the concepts, it was there. And then Jake, to your point, the screen stuff, they tried a couple screens in the first half. It wasn't as much as I wanted, and I really wanted tight ends in this game. Tight ends, because the linebackers will be on their toes. You could take advantage with Mason Taylor or Ruckert, hit those tight ends, and Engstrand went to the receiver screen game to start the second half. After Tampa, had a 10-minute drive, which was not great for the defense, but it started working. The thing is, I think they got to find a screen receiver and work on it because so many of their receiver screens are not crisp. Garrett will catch it on his heels instead of going in one motion. In receiver screens, you watch, the Pats with Brady and Welker and Edelman. It's all designed to flow. So when you're catching the ball, it's in a flow. It's forward motion. So you're not losing a step and you pick up a few extra yards. That is not crisp enough. And Engstrand has to work on it and try to get someone going. Maybe Arian Smith in that regard. I don't know. But I'd rather keep Garrett in the route running game and try to get someone else doing that. And then Brees got back to dancing a little bit in the second half, especially. So I think they're going to work on that with him.
It just feels like they're a weapon short still, which we knew. I mean,
at least a weapon short.
Just that receiver wise. But to your point on the tight ends, they had all the tight ends active on Sunday. They really didn't feature them.
No, they did not. And I don't know. I got to dig into the offense more. I mean, I watched every play, but I was definitely more intent on the defense. From a game planning, and by the way, Bowles, I'm hearing about this prevent defense. It's true. The first scoring drive in the fourth quarter, the coverage was lagged, and Bowles changed. He was exchanging time for yards, no question. And the Jets took advantage, starting hitting the underneath game. Tyrod was moving. The second drive, however, he didn't blitz as much as he normally does, but they were tight. And that was a much more legit drive, that second one.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Reminder, the winners of our raffle will be drawn coming up. We got 3 signed footballs today. You still can enter. We're doing this until the Jets win a game. We never allow day of entries. I'm changing the rules because, God, do we need some positivity. Wayne Corbett signed football. Sauce Gardner signed football. Darrelle Revis signed football. A couple membership shout-outs, and then I want to follow up on some of the things Robby has been talking about. Thank you to Darth Crypto for gifting not 1 but 2 memberships. How about a 3rd membership from Mr. Crypto? And our guy out in Austria, the Austrian Jet fan, he gifted 5 channel memberships. Oh, yeah. Some super chats now, and then a question for Robby on the quarterback situation. Dylan says,
Yes.
Rob, thoughts on the pre-snap disguise from Wilkes? Great to briefly meet you Saturday.
Who said this?
Dylan Terriman.
Who's that? I'm not gonna. Dylan's a great dude, and I wish we could have chopped it up more. We will, though, pretty soon. We will. Yeah, Wilkes. It was a complete 180 from week 2 to week 3. Man, it was so transparent in week 2. I crushed Wilkes. Week 3. Maybe because it was the weapons with Mike Evans and how do you say Abuka? Abuka.
Emeka Ebuka.
Emeka Ebuka. Man, his first name can't be Pete. Pete Abuka. Can't make it easy. So maybe it was because of that. Maybe it was because of Mayfield's, throwing against zone as opposed to man. But he disguised it. He rolled coverages. He ran some inverts. There was some good stuff that he put up. And the Bucs offense didn't tear them up by any means. Now, again, I'm not trying to say that the 85 Bears, but I thought it was a sound game plan coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo is our guest. If you have a question on this game or the state of the Jets, he's as good as anyone breaking down all the nuances of the NFL and the New York Jets. Spencer Green checks in, says Jets may win the next 5 to 6 games. We turning it around starting this week, boys. Elect the kick ass. Spencer, you're in the raffle for 2. Thank you. And he says, good morning, too. By God, Bobby. Big ass beast. Greatness Gary. PBM, Neil, and the legend, Mr. Robby. Speaking of beast, he let us he informed us, he gave us the information that is important here, that he just made breakfast. So, Beast, very happy for you. Big fella says, Robby, Michael Carter's been awful this season. When do we talk about lowering his snaps? Who would take him? So disappointing after the money we gave him.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I honestly don't. And him and so many, even Quinnen, when Baker scampered out of the pocket, I know it's tough for a big man to get a quarterback in that situation. He kind of had some open space when Baker stepped up. I forgot what time it was in the game. Baker stepped up and Quinnen dove and just fell to the ground, and Baker scampered out to the right side. Might have been a penalty on that play. I can't remember. Jets are losing their feet. They're losing their feet. They got to keep their feet. Stop falling. Stop losing your feet. Stand up, do your thing, sink the hips, and drive and rep. Stop losing your feet. It's bad habits, and it's been ingrained in them for a long time, and they got to stop.
It is brutal. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Comments, questions, super chats. We got another one here from Rick Kent, who says, Robby, it was great to meet you. As one silver fox to another, I didn't mention it, but I not only know where Port Jervis is, I went to summer camp there for years in the early 70s.
Nice. Yeah, I noticed a lot of the Asmaniacs copied my hairstyle, the color at least. I don't know what's happening here. I'm starting a trend.
Curly says, why is Beck on the team if he's not in to help block?
They used him. I don't know how many snaps, but he was definitely a part of the game plan, especially in the first half. And there were a couple times where he was noticeable on tape, even as a kick out. There was I forgot what the concept was. It was something, some kind of power concept or gap concept where he just does a pivot and kicks out and had a nice block, taking out the legs of an edge guy. So he contributed, but to your point, could he contribute more? Yeah, perhaps. And that's an interesting point with him. His presence it gives you a lot of versatility in terms of what you could do moving forward. So if I'm Engstrand, who, again, I thought he did in terms of game planning, going into it, great job. There was definitely a lull in there. But now the talent is just the O-line I'm not worried about whatsoever. I know the pass pro stuff with Baldinger is legit. I'm not saying it isn't. It's legit. But O-line I'm not worried about, not concerned.
Membu had another great game.
Who?
Membu.
Yeah, Membu was good. O-line, the O-line coaching, just not worried about it. It's everything else offensively.
Super chat here, and I was thinking this too last night watching the Lions. Z-Breathe. I love how the moment DJ Reed leaves the Jets, he's able to fall on a fumble. But this goes back to what I was saying, right? And I had a tweet last night, Aaron Glenn's former Lions defense, they're forcing turnovers, but they allowed a lot of points. And it wasn't to take a shot at Glenn. It was to say that I don't mind if the Jets give up points or give up a lot of yards. When you need to get a stop, when you need your playmakers to make plays, who forced the fumble? Aiden Hutchinson, who's the best player on the Lions defense. Your best players got to make plays. You have to fall on fumbles. The Jets never do that. DJ Reed never did that as a Jet. So, now he goes to the Lions, and, of course, he's fallen on a fumble last night. But the Lions defense still allowed 30 points to the Ravens. But you know what? They forced 2 turnovers, and that's how you win in the NFL. The Jets turned it over twice on Sunday. They lost the turnover battle. They've lost the turnover battle in all 3 of these games, and that is why they're 0-3. Gibson doesn't fumble week 1, they probably win. They catch a pick 6 from Aaron Rodgers, they probably win. Week 2, they got their doors blown up, but it started to really go into motion with that first turnover by Fields. And then you fast forward to this past Sunday, the pick 6 by Tyrod Taylor was truly the biggest play in the game.
Yeah, 100% agree. And in the off season, I would get tongue lashings. When people ask me, "What do you think? Should they extend these guys and pay them?" And my mindset was always, I'm not even there yet. Like, I don't even care about extensions. No one has done anything on the team yet to warrant it. We why do that? What We're not there yet. So that was it's not like I was anti extending certain guys. It's just that I was never at that point, at that stage in the game. Your best players, and it goes back to this, your best players have to be your best players and make plays. And we're just not seeing it enough from guys like Quinnen and Sauce and Garrett. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, one of the criticisms I had is they didn't re-sign Brandon Eccles, by the way. You see what he
Yeah,
did for
true.
Pittsburgh over the weekend?
True.
He had a interception and a game-sealing fourth down stop on 2 of those targets.
True. That pick, he kind of drifted in the end zone, right? Corner of the end zone, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they should have re-signed Eccles. No doubt about it.
He was a playmaker. The ball
Yes.
just found him. He always made plays, and they got rid of that guy.
Yep. He would
But they
be.
kept Tony Adams. Why?
So the allure with Tony Adams, I know what it is. I'm not trying to excuse it, but the allure is he could play man coverage. He used to be a corner. He could play man coverage, and having a safety who could play man coverage is really valuable. That's the allure, but I'm not defending it. I get it.
Ryan McCarthy in our raffle. For one reminder, 3 prizes today, folks. Last chance to enter Revis football, Sauce football, Corvette football, and you already qualified for next week's top prize, which features a signed jersey by each member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. We got this one from the big fella who says, Robby, why wouldn't Wilkes bracket Ibuka on the final drive? Everyone in the building knew where the ball was going. They had one freaking guy.
Which play are you talking about? The big one on the final drive?
Well, it was a 4-play drive, and they didn't have Mike Evans for it.
Let me pull it up in real time. It was so on the final drive, the first 4 plays, he blitzed 3 times. And in terms of this league, I can't. The only way I would criticize a defensive coordinator in that situation is if he plays it safe. You're down. You're only up 1. If they need a touchdown, okay, you could play it bend but don't break. If they need a field goal, these guys are kicking it from the parking lot. You got to go high risk, high reward. Got to go all out or all nothing. And he pretty much went all out or all nothing. If he brackets Ibuka, didn't Shepard have a back-breaking play as well? Like you're acting like no one else can make a play. It is you could make a play if you put 2 guys over there. It makes the possibility of someone else making a play that much better. So I just can't. I'll pull up play in real time as you go to another question, and then talk about it again. But I just can't get on him because he had the only chance they had is to go all risk, all reward, and he did.
Shout out to Man with a Rake who gifted a membership. The Austrian Jet fan gifted another membership. I think I shouted you out, Ryan, but if I didn't, Ryan McCarthy, again, if I forgot, he gifted a membership. And our next question here is from Johnny, who's been a channel member for a month. Welcome aboard, Johnny. Are there any free agent wide receivers that we could sign?
I don't, dude.
You want Amari Cooper to come back out of retirement?
Is he still? Oh, that's right. He retired.
Does Corvette want to suit up?
That's I actually joked about it with him recently. He wants to. The mind wants to. I don't know if the body is willing. We'll put it that way. By the way, the Ibuka play, I'm watching it. 28 yards, double A gap show mug where they have the 2 linebackers standing in the A gap. This is an example of the quarterback seeing the defense, changing it, knowing it's going to be single coverage, and then doing his work. And that was the biggest gripe I had against Wilkes, against Allen. It was just too much. To be fair, in this game, this was not a pattern. And in this situation, while I don't love it, you do have to take a chance and send pressure. And he sent, let me see, did he send 5 or 6 here? Look at that. Yeah, Mayfield changes the play, puts the running back right in the A gap. So it's pass all the way. This is a moment. This is an example when the quarterback changes the play that they miss a guy like Mosley, who could match wits with the guy at the line of scrimmage. And can Sherwood ultimately get to that point? I don't know. But I think that's something that's going to come in time.
Here's the question for you, Sabo. If you're Aaron Glenn, and let's assume Justin Fields has cleared protocol, who's your starter Monday night against the 0-3 Dolphins?
Fields. By the way, don't let me forget about that. But he semi-bracketed Ibuka on this coverage. It was a 5-man rush. Cisco was on top. The corner, I don't even know who that is. I think it's Stevens. Stevens was to the outside, under. Cisco was on top, inside. But the Bucks ran a flat defender, and Stevens drove down on the flat defender. So it was a semi-bracket to try to be safe, but not a full bracket, to the big fella's point. Fields would be the starter. But here's what I would do. And because Fields is the plan, because they want their identity to be the rushing game. The difference between week 1 and everything else, week 2, they had Fields, but Buffalo was just 10 steps ahead. They were guessing right every time. Week 3, they weren't god awful rushing the ball. They were just average, I would say. What was it? 4.3 yards per carry. That's not, I mean, it's actually, it's average, I'd say. Maybe a little above average, but Fields opens up the rushing with his edge threat. It's just the presence. It's their plan. It's their identity. But what I would do is I would tell them, hey, this is old time football. When backups would come in to save the day every now and then, Fields would start. You're Andy Pettit, but Tyrod Taylor is Mariano Rivera. If we're ever in a situation when we need a 2-minute drive, we're down a couple possessions, or where it's a passing only situation, I'm putting Tyrod in there. And then Fields is my starter the next week. That's how I would play it.
There's just no way they would do that to Fields,
No,
though.
of course not. Of course not. But that's what I would do.
Hit the like button if you're tuned in. We're going to get to more of your super chats and mix in some calls with Robby as well. But let me talk about today's sponsor, ZipRecruiter. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up, because ZipRecruiter is going to make hiring easy. We know that hiring someone can be time consuming. You're waiting for the right candidate to apply. You're sorting through different resumes. You're trying to get in touch with that candidate. It's not easy. ZipRecruiter will make it easy. The future of hiring looks a whole lot brighter with ZipRecruiter, because their latest tools and features help speed up finding the right people for your roles, so you save valuable time. Right now, you can try it for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Just click the link in the description. With ZipRecruiter's new advances, you can easily find and connect with qualified candidates in minutes. See a candidate you're really interested in, you can unlock their contact info instantly. Over 320,000 new resumes are added to ZipRecruiter monthly, which means you can reach more potential hires. Once again, it's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Use ZipRecruiter, save time hiring 4 to 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter. Get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio right now, once again, you'll try it for free. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Go ahead, Sabo. I see you have a thought there. I see that smirk.
No. I love the comments. Got me going. Keep going.
Colin says, with Fields back, or when Fields is back, do you think we will see more design quarterback runs with more creativity? We really haven't seen quarterback counter, bash concept, or quarterback power, but we should be doing it.
No, yeah. I mean, listen, bash, I'm sure it's in the playbook, but it's going to be a rare thing. Power, we saw either a power or sweep against Buffalo. I mean, didn't we? I know we saw draws.
I almost throw away the Buffalo game because of how bad Fields was. They had no plays. They had no rhythm. Like week 1, we saw a lot of different things, I thought, and I was excited to watch them build on it. Then you had the Buffalo disaster. Fields gets hurt. He doesn't play this past week. If he plays Monday against the Dolphins, which I think he will start, because I do think he'll be cleared, I would hope they have a lot more creative, different things they could mix in. Dolphins are allowing a ton of rushing yards per game. It's a good matchup for the Jets offense to look pretty good with Fields.
This is a crazy thing I'm about to say, but the Buffalo game, the O-line didn't play bad. And it was that bad. It just because someone said it in the comments. Jets fans will learn you can't get the rushing game going if the defense doesn't fear the quarterback's arm. Yeah, 100%. But guess what? If teams are doing what Buffalo did, all you got to do is call a pass and you're going to beat them. It was that disrespectful. It's not about it doesn't take much talent to complete a pass based on what Buffalo was doing. They were just 10 steps ahead, and it was like they were in the Jets huddle. So having that edge threat, it's the third phase of the game. It really works wonders. So the Buffalo thing, it derailed them, and you got to deal with it. So we'll see. We'll see what his health is. And Glenn's comments yesterday were interesting. What did you take away from that in terms of who he wants to start?
We will see. We
Yeah.
will see. Let's see. Luppy, the Lup man, says, can't gift memberships in AC with the wife. Hey now, Luppy, win some money. We will start winning games this week. Hey, Toby, go Jets. Now, did he hit the T instead of the R on his phone there? And he meant to say, hey, Robby, but instead he wrote, hey, Toby.
Reggie Robby, great punter.
Ladies and gentlemen, PBM in the raffle for 2 with this $10 super chat. Thoughts on starting Moore and benching Cisco, moving Stevens to safety, starting AZ at corner 2. I'm tired of this effing crap. 0-3 is 0-30 in the NFL or 0-21 in the NBA. We need massive changes now.
I'm not totally against that. I want to see Moore continue. I want to see AZ get playing time. So however they want to work that out, I want to see both. I want to see Moaga continue to play. Quincy's injury, we don't know how serious it is yet, correct?
We have no updates on Quincy, and we probably will not get one till, what, Thursday?
Okay, so
they're practicing tomorrow?
Yes. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. Monday night. That's a good question. Quincy, I'm not saying they're a better defense if Quincy misses a couple games, but I'm intrigued to see what happens if he does miss a couple games. They won't be as athletic, but they'll have to be more sound and structured in terms of helping the guy next to them and doing the right thing for the guy next to him. That means Moaga, well, Ball would probably stay in as the second linebacker and nickel, but maybe Moaga gets more playing time. I don't know. And Moaga made a great dude. On one of the last drives in the fourth quarter, he shed a block on the offensive lineman, didn't lose any ground, and stuck Irving or Rashad White. I forgot who it was. Near the line of scrimmage. And that was a heavy play. And I just want to keep seeing what he could bring to the table.
Ladies and gentlemen, Orb checks in. Fellow Orange County resident, Robby, why is the town called Port Jervis? It's nowhere near the water.
I have no clue. And I'm actually a DV graduate, so I'm on the PA side. Port Jervis were always our bitter enemies. So I guess I'm a turncoat coach in Port these days, but I did play Papa Winter for them, so I have some history.
Turncoat Sabo, they're calling you. Spencer Green checks in. He's in the raffle for 2. How does ZipRecruiter sponsor the show? And by God, Bobby can't find a job. Come on, Bobby, you got it.
Oh, yeah. I haven't talked to Bobby in a while. What's going on?
He has an interview this week, Spencer. We're working on it, all right? Give the guy a break. We're firing him up. We're motivating him. Everyone say it out loud. J-O-B. Job, job, job.
J-O-B. Job, job, job.
My God. Beast, when are you posting your listing for another mastermind in the global headquarters? Wow, Spencer wants a job with Beastbreaker Industries over there.
Beastbreaker Industries, like Comerica. What's their mission statement? What do they do?
They eat. They sit around. They go to the grocery store.
If he could work in, Coney Island 4th of July things, he might have something.
This one is from the great Bo C. Robby, do you agree our linebackers should almost never blitz? Also, Bo, answer my email. What size do you want the jersey in? Not saying we don't attack ever, just saying keeping them at home with a weak keeping them at home base with a weak secondary and over pursuing is the best recipe.
I might be the wrong guy to answer this because you guys remember in the spring, I kept saying I don't know if Glenn's going to re-sign Sherwood because Sherwood and Quincy are a nightmare together. They're too similar. They're too light. They're too avoidant. They avoid. So they often, and Sherwood's gotten better. And what I saw on Sherwood on tape from Sherwood against the Bucks was better. He was heavier. He was filling. He was doing some good stuff. But generally speaking, thinking about Glenn's thought, I didn't know if he would bring him back because that match together, they're too east-west. They're too light. But Sherwood's getting better. Quincy's the one. He sometimes breaks plays, but he also makes great plays too. So he's really high risk, high reward. You got to mix it up. I think defense today in the NFL, it's just about doing whatever you can to limit touchdowns, number one, and number two, not allow the other opposing offense and quarterback to be comfortable. That's it. Those are the two things. So I think your question about linebackers, it's got to be new, creative, and diverse. It just has to be mixed up.
T-Town Jet in our raffle for one. Thank you, T-Town. Oh, yeah. Korean Jet fan says, any chance we could add some quality players?
No.
Deadline. They're not going to add anyone. If anything, if they keep losing, they're going to trade some guys.
No, the spring, they intentionally downgraded the roster. And we know Glenn as a coach is not going to admit that. Why would you? I don't think anyone would. But it's right to hammer them in terms of, hey, we're not rebuilding. We're trying to win. And when they don't win, you got to hammer them. That's fair game. No question about it. But when you look at it on paper, they intentionally downgraded. There's no other way around it. At the most important position, too, no less. Let's be honest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo with us. Robby, are you ready for some calls?
Yes.
Up first today is a man who always has tremendous takes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. What's so funny?
It's a little funny.
I don't know what you're laughing at.
Kyle, where were you in Tampa?
Gator. He's a master of his craft.
Yeah. Where were you? I even met Gator. Man, where were you, Clifton? I was looking for you.
I got young kids, Robby. I can't be jetting off to every corner of the country for the Jets anymore.
Who says kids are important? Come on.
Yeah, they're here. They might hear you. So, yeah, I mean, more victories. We got to move past that, right?
We're 2-1 in the AFC East and moral victories, tied with the Bills.
Right, ready to go to the imaginary playoffs. Very exciting. This is the time where we have to look to make our move, right? Like, you could say all these things about these teams were better than us. I don't really buy that the Steelers and the Bucs in particular were that much better than us, and I think it's just a matter of execution and playing some complementary football. Like, we have to do the little things, and we did the little things kind of too late against the Buccaneers. Like, we made a play on special teams too little too late, and you see things like them marching down the field like we all knew it was going to happen. We got to tighten the defense up. We don't have guys that are necessarily getting home on their own or from the secondary or from the second level. I don't know how you generate pressure. You got to move Tua off his spot. This is a huge game for us. Like, the season is pretty much gone if we go 0-4. So it's just a matter of, let's see if we can curtail some of the penalties that have been the bugaboo for this team this year and in past years. Let's see if we can get some guys like JJ and Fields back healthy and productive. This is it. This is the entire season, or else we're talking about draft stuff in October. And, I don't think anybody wants to do that. Let's see if we can be competitive and be the fly in some of these other teams' ointment for the next 2 months before we start to talk about the draft. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, and their strength should be, it's designed to be the rushing game. If you get Fields back, you could easily control the game. Not easily, but you know what I'm saying. The best defense for them right now, with how much the talent level has gone down, and based on the rules today in the NFL, is getting that rushing game going, having that zone read and the RPO and all that, the third element stuff happening, and you could do that against Miami.
Yeah, we got to get back to a little bit how we looked offensively in game one with Fashanu and Simpson at the top of their game. and being able to run the ball down people's throats, and then taking our shots in the passing game when it's there. I was on Boy Green this morning, and I was talking about the future state and where we need to get to. This team desperately needs an X receiver that can take some pressure off the run game. We saw Mike Evans up close this weekend. We saw last night Jamison Williams. If we could ever get our boy Garrett into the slot, I think you'd see something that approximates the production of Amar St. Brown.
Will the quarterback get it to him? Will the quarterback get it to
Well, that's the other thing, right? Is
their quarterback play is not. I don't think it's capable of doing that. That's the big thing, really.
So you're totally out on Fields entirely. Is that fair to say, Robby?
Not in or out. I take it for what it is. They grabbed him to start at the basement level, rushing the ball, and that is his greatest asset. Like, we have to separate that from, the pure passing ability, where it is extremely limited. And I'm not saying they don't need an X receiver or more receiver. Of course they do. I just don't know if it'll matter, to be honest. Garrett gets his numbers being force fed. They're one reads. They're force fed. They're concepts, and we all know it was coming. That's the way it's going to be, and it's not easy to do that, to scheme that up. Yet Engstrand is doing it. So I don't know. They need a lot. They do.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm talking about future state, right? Like there are so many needs that when you think about it, especially after this year, when people get to parts of their contract where some of their guaranteed money is going to go away, or you talk about Quincy being an impending free agent and two guards being a friend of free agent, including one guy who's hurt all the time. Of course, this is going to probably include bringing in a QB1, whether that's a Lenore Sellers or insert your guy of choice here. There is a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be on offense. If the Lions are the model, I'm with Jake 1,000% as far as the defense goes. It can't be this bad. Like, the scheme, the discipline, the tackling, the penalties, you name it, it's got to be tightened up. And that is
dude, don't get it confused. I completely agree with you. It can't be this bad. From a general perspective, 100%. My only point is, when I'm thinking about strategy and whether Glenn has those bones in him, and how bad Wilkes was in week 2 with the game plan, his week 3 game plan, it shocked me watching it back, the tape. It was pretty sound. But from a general perspective, it's been awful.
What I've seen from this team these last 2 weeks has made me want to flip backwards through my tangerine wall. I appreciate your time, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Kyle Clifton. Well done, sir, with that reference. Real quick, Eli in the Asmaniac raffle for 5. Eli, thank you.
What do you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
Eli, well done. A little Mad Max reference there from Clifton. Spencer Greed says, I think we also have to remember long-term goals here. Also, I know Glenn said win now, but damn, we have a top 5 level cap space next year. We have to survive as fans, hope for big signings, etc.
Hey, man, when Kyle said, are you out on Fields? Listen, Fields could still have a good year.
If 2 games. I mean, it's early.
Yeah, it's so early. And Glenn, for, some of the comments people didn't like, and I agree with you. And actually, it's interesting. If I was in his situation, I would kind of say publicly, I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to send a message to his team. This is not the same old Jets. But I kind of argue, I would rather say, yeah, we are the same old Jets right now.
We got to prove we're not, and that's what we're going to do. That's all you have to say.
It lays a challenge at the doorstep of each person, of each of your players. And instead of washing it away, we're not the same old Jets. We're there already. I would take the opposite approach. We are the same old Jets. Guess what? Hear it loudly. And we need to face it and confront it and overcome it. I've made this reference before. Mark Messier, when he came to the Rangers in 91, he told his team, the 1994 talk, the organization hated it. And he would say, no, we got to embrace it. Yes, 1940. 1940 is legit, and it will remain legit until we make it not be legit anymore. So I kind of disagreed with this presser. I think he should have owned it and made it loud and clear to his team that, yeah, we are the same old Jets until we prove otherwise.
Let's go, baby. Win games. Beat the Dolphins. I mean, that's really it, right? Like, people are going to say, oh, they played 3 playoff teams. What'd you expect? Not to start 0-3 for the 4th time in 7 years. But now that you are 0-3, what's the excuse Monday night? All right, is it fair, Jet fans, to expect a win against the Dolphins? Like, come on, man. They're 1-7 their last 8 against Miami. If you're not going to beat them now when they're 0-3, when are you going to beat them? And according to our sponsor, FanDuel, the Jets are 2.5-point underdogs 6 days from now. So does that mean we can't expect them to win? Like, that's nonsense. Go and win the game.
Yeah. Got to win it. Got to win the game, period.
That's it. None of the moral victory nonsense. You have to win football games. We'll do one more call with Robby, and then I will stay on for the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is a man who knows how to shop.
Yeah, I ran out of oregano. I was like, ow. You know how that fun is. It never ends. Yeah. It's always one thing after another. You know how that works. Yeah. All right, what do we got here for grand total?
$28.45.
$28.45? I'll take care of you. Don't worry. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
He just told us it's thin.
Service with a smile. That is the sexiest thing you're ever going to see.
Was that AI?
That was real.
Oh.
Beast doesn't have his guitar plugged in, so we can never hear him, but he thinks we can, which is hilarious. So just laugh at this. Just sit back and enjoy it.
I'm just imagining I'm a real American. Look
at him.
Shredding. Ooh, did you see that? Popped a vessel.
Let us know when you're done, Beast. Whenever you're ready to talk about football on a football show. You fat bastard. Beast wants me to connect him with Glenn and Darren Muji.
Connect them.
Yeah. He's got some insight on the state of the Jets.
No kidding. Like Dennis Hopper and Hoosiers.
He's here to help us.
Yes. Rex's long-lost nephew.
Coach Beast Breaker. Oh, yeah. We're ready. Beast, you down there? Beast?
Oh, I got my fingers a little.
What were you playing?
You had a breath from doing a basic activity?
I love 1987 Black Sabbath off the Eternal Idol album. Beautiful album. Whew.
So you see how it says 48 hours waiting for a call? This was the email I received yesterday, Robby. What I saw yesterday was embarrassing, sad, and out of date, and out of touch. That match was horrible. First, we looked like we stunk up the ship and didn't bother giving the fans what they wanted. That pissed me off. This team is very lazy. And why the F is Clemens still there? He's an effing disgrace to humanity, yada, yada, yada. Then I'll get to the bottom here. Muji and Glenn have 48 to 72 hours to talk to me. I've had it up to here with losing seasons. Here's my number. Have them call me. I have 2 guys that work with me to put the Jets back up into winning combat. My rules are strike first, strike hard, no mercy. You want to win here, bust your ass, and put it in gear, and earn your spot and get off your asses now. I effing mean it. Jason Allen Storm. P.S. 72 hours. Glenn and Muji. Get it together now.
Would that be your WCW name, Beast, Jason Storm?
I prefer take it ECW is more like it.
Well, you know, WCW use the real names, you know.
ECW is a little bit more like it because, let's see, September is known for a little bit of nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We're going to, but let me say it's on Monday. If we beat Miami, if they don't choke the chicken or jerk the gherkin or wax the weasel or do some other stupid shit, we better do something about this now. I ain't going to sit here and listen for, well, we'll look at the tape. I ain't going to hear that this time. It's called either get it in gear, or if you don't want to be here, get out of here. Get out. You know what door's at? The door swings 2 different ways. It's like a restaurant. It's in or it's out. Make up your choice. Make up your mind, or we'll make it up for you. The choice is yours. And you know what I mean.
Who are you talking to, Gator?
No. This is for Glenn or Muji.
Why are your fingers covering the camera?
This. See, I'm trying to get the fingers back into rotation because you try putting new strings on like this,
Mm.
and then going full speed ahead. That's not the easiest, sharpest tool in the drawer.
What's on the
Some
agenda
Sunday.
today, Beast?
Got laundry.
Okay.
A man's laundry. And
I didn't expect that.
Let me just say for everybody's information, you want to win here, get off your ass. You don't want to be here, you can go.
Yeah.
You get the fuck out.
Well
That
said.
response was so direct, like he had it on top of the mind. I gotta do the damn laundry. He's probably been saying it since 7:30 this morning.
He's very busy.
Yeah.
Few last ones for you, Robbie, then we'll let you run. I'll stay out for the calls. We got some legends coming up, so everyone stick around. Derek says, Jake and Robbie, why does Sauce keep getting no respect from the refs on those weak PI calls? I mean, the one he got on the 3rd and 29, watching it live, I was so mad, and then I saw the replay.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bad call.
Bad call. But he, I'm semi-praising Wilkes for his game plan. But dude,
why are you playing man? I know what you're going to say. Press man on 3rd and 29. Sit back in the zone and don't allow the possibility of that, right?
Yes, your theory. Technically, it was zone, but here's the rub. They started too deep, but not Sauce. The other corner, Stevens was off. Sauce was press. They started too deep, but it was 3 buzz. One of the safeties drove down. The other safety came up. So when you do that and you drive one of the safeties down, it can't be double coverage on the outside. And on top of that, if you don't have over the top help, why are you in press? So it turns out to be man press, basically, like you're saying. Technically zone, but I think they allow Sauce to go press because that's where he feels most comfortable. But it's 3rd and 29. Can you play 2-man? Let him press, but just keep 2 safeties deep. I understand you're trying to guard against the field goal, but sometimes you have to be willing to lose a battle to win the war. So that one was rough for Wilkes.
100%. Coach Beast would not allow that, by the way. So I'm fully
no.
endorsing Coach Beastbringer.
Of course.
Bo and then Barney with our last 2 here. Bo writes in, we are leaving prize ponies in the stable as well. Can Angstrom please dial up some productive running plays for Allen, double tight ends, and maybe even open up screenplays that could have saved us twice?
Yeah, the running back screen game really hasn't gotten going, right? It's been mainly receivers, haven't seen much. And even tight ends. Can we get the tight end screen game going with Mason Taylor?
Woods. Why is he here? Mason Taylor. Let's use him.
Yeah. So, I agree.
This next one is from Barney, who says, question for Robbie, secondary issues, scheme or players?
It's no, first and foremost, it's a product of the league. I think what we were used to in terms of how good the coverage was, and I used to say it all the time, the best coached position that they had was the secondary under Saleh, bar none. And they had talent too, but it was coached perfectly. The communication was great. But I also think the game flow was intentionally much slower than Glenn. I mean, Glenn, if you look at him, he's being aggressive. He's calling timeouts before the end of the first half. If he doesn't be aggressive there, they probably go into halftime 13-6 instead of 26. So, it's different in that regard. The game flow isn't as intentionally conservative. And when the game flow is conservative, the passing defense is going to look a lot better because the other team is running the ball and they're just trying to run at the clock, basically. Jets are trying to do the same thing. So I think it's mostly a product of the league rules and the Jets just getting back to normal as opposed to being really good in that area. But it's a combination of both. I think mostly players.
Mr. Sabo, always a pleasure. Great to have you at the party on Saturday. It was a ton of fun to hang with you and a bunch of great listeners, Fireman Ed, and everyone who made it out to Gaspers. So hopefully we do another big Jet outing because we're excited about actually watching this team. That'd be
Wait, when's the next road trip? Is there one lined up right now or no?
Nothing. I do one game. I do one road game a year, unless there's big games late in the season, which I know 3 doesn't feel likely, but hey, you never know.
The next home game. Let me know when you guys do something in the parking lot. And I'll
Carolina, October 19th.
Okay, I'll swing by.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robbie Sabo. When's the next podcast with Mr. Wayne Corbett?
Not sure yet. I think we'll do one this week, but just watch out for Jets X Factor, the YouTube channel, and you'll get the notification.
Fantastic. Sabo, all the love.
All right. Later.
Robby checking in. How about this? I just saw this. Mimosa just dropped a 20 spot for the people. Hey, now let's freaking go. Yeah.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen, like Mimosa giving us a 20 spot. My videos won't play, though. I can't play all my clips. What's happening here? Hold on. I need to do a quick StreamYard reset so we could properly read off 20 names. And I'm putting my helmet on, baby. Here we go. 1 second. 1 moment. We'll be right back. All right. Mimosa, you are awesome. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is officially raining channel memberships. Let me find my raindrop. Everything is out of order. There it is. Okay, here we go. 20 names. I don't see that, bro. I got my helmet on. Hear your name called. You are now a channel member courtesy of the great Mimosa, who was at our listener party Saturday night, and of course came to our tailgate as well with Jerry Jett, who is the listener that has the Asmaniac tattoo on his back. So that was epic. The following people are now channel members. 20 channel members. If YouTube would load, everything's not working today. This is so freaking annoying. Hold on. In the meantime, I'm going to play this, and then we will read the names. Anytime.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, 20 names. Here we go. I got them. Eric Kelly, Green Gang, Tyler Raines, PR, AP, Charles Sanders, Chris M, Ness the Great, Lauren Shorty, T-Mac, Dr. Jet, Jordan Victor, Tandem, Ref Fan, Lucky Luke, Peter, DJ, Dirty Cooch, Smokey Champ, Axios, and Spinmax, all receiving 20, or all received a channel membership of the 20 that the great Mimosa gifted. Hit the Jet chant, Lowski. Oh, all right. Back to our show. We are doing, for those tuning in late, our weekly raffle, and we're allowing people day of to enter. So Mimosa just earned herself 3 entries for her chance to win a signed Revis football, signed Sauce football, and a signed Corbett football. Thank you, Mimosa. As always, great to see you. Saturday and Sunday in Tampa. Big fella checks in. Jake, I may have an undiagnosed medical condition because that clip of Beast shopping sends me into uncontrollable laughter. Amazing stuff. It's so good. That happened live on the show, man. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. Let's see. Burkinator checks in. Are there any Asmaniacs going to the Miami game? I'll be there. Would like to meet up with some of you going. Also, how do I give away channel memberships? Burkinator, it's a great question. The only way you could gift the community memberships is if you are on a laptop or desktop. The iPhone does not let you do it. I think on an Android, someone said you could, but I don't have an Android, so I can't confirm that. So that's why we allow people to enter the raffle with the super chats. Give people another way to enter here. So you're in for 2, Burkinator. And yes, I know there are a bunch of my listeners that are going to be in Miami for the game. So if you are trying to link up with anyone, I recommend, if you're not a Patreon member, join the Patreon, and I'll even show you how it's done. Ready? This is why you want to join the Patreon. You get access to my Discord, which you all can now see on the screen here. And then in the Discord, if you go over to our game meetups tab right here, you'll see we have a game meetup set up for every single game. So you can connect with fans that are going. So let me scroll down to Miami. Here it is. And you'll see people here, and you can start messaging people and figure it out. As you saw for Tampa, we had our big one for that. The Bucks one is loaded with info, but now it's all just a bunch of great pictures, like this one of me, Gator, and Philly Noodles. Cash Money Michael. Look at Michael winning some cash money here. Look at that. This man won $700 at our raffle. Oh, Wild Will Parkinson on the right-hand side there. Go some photos in the Discord right now. We got Dylan Terraman, who will be on with us this week. Look at the photo bomb by Gator here. Look at that. What else we have here? Here's me, DT, and Antoine Staley from the Daily News. He stopped by the tailgate. Robby, Sabo, and Leany with Fireman Ed. Got our guy Terrence there. We got Jess. We got Rat Diddy. We're working on a big recap video / slideshow of all the fun. This was unreal. Shout out to Lou B. So we went to a bar club thing, and the bottle waitresses were doing the Jet chant. We got some growl. NY Jets, Florida Ted, and we got Artie here. These photos are great. That's me and Leany. We love you, Leany. What else we got here? More info. Yeah, well, we're putting stuff together. But anyway, the Discord's great. Find out a bunch of great things. Here's Luppy saying, say hi to Toby for me. Luppy, there you go. What else we have here? Bunch of conversation about the team. So, a little inside look at the Discord. If you want access to any of that, you got to be a Patreon member. It's one of the perks included. Snoopy says, get me in the raffle. I have a feeling next Monday night will be one of those games we will get embarrassed. I hope not. If they get embarrassed against a winless Dolphins team, the people that are saying, oh, you know, it's fine. What did you expect this year? Can you at least acknowledge that it's completely unacceptable? If they get embarrassed by a team that hasn't won a game, that's unacceptable. If they get embarrassed, that'd be 2 embarrassments out of their first 4 games. You want to excuse away Buffalo? Oh, they're a Super Bowl contender. The Dolphins stink right now. So, no, that better not happen, Snoopy. If you have that feeling, that scares me. Hopefully your feeling's dead wrong. Austrian says, want to see more tight end packages, which work great with Fields, more Beck, more Woods. I do think they need to get the tight ends going more, man. I've said it. I'll continue to say it. Anyway, more of your calls coming up, but I did want to play this because I referenced it earlier. Friend of the show, Tanky V, Frankie V from U Stadium, with some interesting film breakdown on what went wrong for the offense in this one on Sunday. And after watching this, I do think it was quite eye-opening.
All right, the Jets offense left a lot on the table in this one, especially their passing game. I thought Tyrod had some easy completions to be made that he sort of missed. Now, this happens in any football game. You're going to have receivers when you look at the all 22 that are open, whether they're a top priority read or they're not. You never really know unless you're in that huddle or you're in that quarterback room. But Tyrod's staring some of these receivers down, and it seems like a lot of these receivers were first or second reads. So this is the first play of the game. He's got Garrett for a 15 to 20 yard deep cross here. And he just misses Garrett on this crossing concept. Like, you're looking there. I mean, look at him. This is the first play of the game. Stuff like this sets the tempo of the game. Tyrod comes out. He's looking that way. I mean, get the ball right there, man. Start the game off with a 20-yarder. All right, the next play here, the Jets line up in 11 personnel. They like this 11 personnel. Again, that's 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. Arian Smith lined up here. Listen, this is not an easy throw, not at all, but looks like the Bucs are in a cover too. So you gotta hit that hole shot, they call it. You gotta get that ball right there, Tyrod. Look at this. Arian Smith. But at this point, Tyrod's looking that way. You gotta get that ball here. This safety is honoring this streak down the middle of the field. You gotta play the safety a bit and get that ball right there. Again, this is not an easy throw, so I'm not expecting Tyrod Taylor, who's a career backup, to make it, but look at this. I mean, if you go frame by frame, all right, Tyrod's looking, right? Tyrod's trying to read what defense is doing. Right there. You know, you got 2 versus 1. Safety does a pretty good job to kind of disguise where he's trying to go. Tyrod gives that pump. looks that way, the pump wasn't good enough. And he's not in any point of leverage to make this throw right there. So, you know, it's a no play. It's a nothing. And this is probably the worst play of them all. If you're not recognizing this, this is the Dean pick six. I mean, look at Tyler Johnson on this play. This is brutal to watch. You get this delayed blitz, the bull special, bam. Tyler Johnson's wide open. You're throwing back there with the quarterback to let it be known that if this happens, you better turn your damn head because you're streaking up that seam right there. Look at this. Tyler Johnson runs this route. He's not even looking. Oh, I'm just going to go. There's nobody. Literally, you could land a spaceship here and he could even throw it now. I mean, Tyler Johnson has no idea what's going on around him. You can still land another spaceship right next to him. But, again, just stupidity. And this probably cost you the game. You see the Jets were trying to involve Mason Taylor here. So Mason Taylor on a curl route. If Tyrod waits a little bit, he's got Garrett Wilson on a post corner. Now, he gets the ball out before Garrett runs the post corner, but you see Garrett. Like, you got to read this right here, Tyrod. Like, you got to give it some time to develop because Garrett, if you look at that route, Garrett's running that post corner, man. And you got to read those. Listen, I'm no quarterback guru here, but, like, you got to. There. Look, right there, man. You got that right there. Right there. I mean, you're not past the line of scrimmage yet. Pick up.
This is the life we chose, Jet fans. I will say it is at least encouraging that Engstrand's calling plays and guys are being schemed open. But he had some protection issues on some. And Tyrod's a backup. So he's going to be rusty, too. My dad actually making a very good point. Steve Asman. Tyrod had no snaps till last week. I still think he's better than Fields. As a passer, yes. As a runner, no. And they need to get the running game going against the Dolphins, who I think are 29th in rushing yards allowed through the first 3 weeks. They're definitely in the bottom of the NFL in that category, near the bottom. I got to look at the exact numbers. So, is he better than Fields? He might be. But if Fields plays like he did week 1, he's not. If he plays like he does week 2, I'm on a fire as the starter. So, we'll see. Before we get to our next caller, let's talk about our sponsor, 1v1 Me. Listen up. Sports, they're all about competition. Every snap, every possession, every clutch moment matters. That same energy is what 1v1 Me brings to video games every single day. You could watch and stake on matchups in Madden, NBA 2K, FC, Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. All the games stream live. Every match is refs. Payouts are instant. And these aren't just random online lobbies. These are the best players in scene, pros, streamers, and rivals with season playoffs and championship games on the line. Every game matters. Over 100 million has already been paid out on the app, and the community is growing fast. So if you're a sports fan, a gamer, or just someone who likes having a little extra on the line, 1v1 Me is where you need to be. It's not just about winning. It's the bragging rights, too. Every match is a chat going crazy, so you can back your pick in real time. Download today. Use my code ASMAN, ASMAN. Your first stake on the app is risk-free. That's code ASMAN for a risk-free first stake. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Up first, this segment is none other than...
Gator says, I think Big Cho might need an intro.
Big Cho. Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in. Big Cho. I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles. We're talking about Big Cho. My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
I put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands earlier. Came home just chilling. Big Cho.
You pulling a Big Cho there, Neil?
I was about to say, when I'm laying back like this, I'm going to say, I'm going to be Big Show today.
I saw you just sitting there, and I'm like, let me try this. I was just hoping you wouldn't get up before the intro finished playing. That was my big concern.
Just chilling, Jay.
Come closer to the mic. We can't hear you.
Just chilling, baby.
There we go. How we feeling?
Not good. I'm sick as a dog. I'm on like Z-Pack. I got, horrible. I don't know what the hell happened to me, but I got hit by a train day before yesterday. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I saw that Frankie Tanky V thing. Oh my God, man.
It's tough.
So many guys open, wide open, and we're not hitting. One thing I have to say though, Jake, Tyrod had really not a lot of pass protection. That was one of the things that if you're looking at that film and you're looking for him to throw downfield and stuff like that, when an offensive coordinator realized we're getting beat at the line of scrimmage, you got to throw dump out, little dump plays. There was a couple plays he was showing there. The guys were open 10 yards downfield that he could have just dunked it to and got a first down or moved the ball a little bit better.
I think it was a combo of everything, though. Like, I think there were more plays they could have made, and there were definitely some protection issues.
If I'm looking at that tape, I'm going back to Fields. Sorry. If I look at that tape and I'm the two guys, if I'm the coaches, you got to go back to Fields.
Well, there's an upside with Fields, too, right? Like, that's why I would go with Fields for this week.
Well, here's the one thing you got to realize. I watched that Buffalo-Miami game. Buffalo was pushing the defensive line of Miami 6, 7, 8 yards downfield. Like they weren't even a defense. I mean, their run defense is so freaking bad. We should just put 11 guys in the box and just push them back and really challenge the offensive line to have a much better day than they did last week. Because last week was not a good day. Membo got beat. There was one of those plays I was watching Membo. He got beat, but Brees picked up the guy. Then Membo missed out on that 4th and 1 when what's his name ran by him, Reddick. Look, that's picky shit. At the end of the day, we got to run the ball, establish the run. The Dolphins are going to try to lose this game. Look, Tyreek Hill, I saw his face when they went 0-3. He's done. He gave up on the Dolphins. He doesn't even give a shit. I don't even think he was going to want to play. Okay? So he's disgruntled. The Dolphin fans want McDaniel gone. I think they flew a plane over to the stadium or some shit to get rid of him, right, Jake? Didn't they do that? They
yes.
sent some kind of
their most recent home game. Yeah, I mean Dolphin. I mean
they're done. He's done. The coach is done.
If the Jets could beat him, he might get fired. So that's why.
But I'm saying, God Almighty. I mean, you're 0-3. You had your chance against Buffalo. They shot their load and they lost. So right now they are really set up to get their asses kicked if we force ourselves to have a good game and correct some of the mistakes and get a goddamn turnover for once. I mean, I'm looking at this kid on the Vikings. Did you see a record-setting day? 2 TDs, 2 forced fumbles, 3 pass defenses, and 1 game. And they signed the guy for 2 years, $11 million, Isaiah Rodgers. That's better stats than Sauce's had in 3 years and 1 game.
Well, it's different though because Sauce doesn't get as many opportunities. But to your point,
I'm talking about instead of the guy we signed for 36 million.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
That would have been a nice.
Of course, Miami has yet to force a turnover this year, and same with the Jets. So I'm going through some stats that ESPN Research sent to me here. And since the turnover stat became official in 1933, this is the first game being played on a Monday night where you have 2 0-3 teams that each don't have a takeaway that are playing in this type of matchup. So, like, who do you trust more to take care of the ball? Like it might be Tyrod, but Tyrod put the ball on the turf once and then he threw a pick 6. So I don't know. I think they go back to Fields if he's cleared.
Yeah, I think Fields is the answer here because they really have to focus on the running game and establishing it. Because if you establish the running game, the passes are going to open up and Fields is going to feel more confident and they're not going to be able to tee off on us. If we start like we did last week with the, first down, get a yard, 3rd behind the sticks, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, we're going to be in trouble. And Fields is going to start looking at Excuse me. He's going to start looking at the rush, and then we're going to have a problem. So we know about the turnovers. We know we should have got Keenan Allen, who has 3 touchdowns already, and we all clamored about getting him in free agency. He was available all summer long, and I watched him have great game after great game as a second receiver. I think he's making $1.2 million. That would have broke our bank, I think, if we paid him $1.2 million. What do you think?
Which player is this?
Keenan Allen. He's
Oh.
making $1.2 million freaking dollars, and he scored 3 touchdowns already for the Chargers. He's a demon in the red zone, and we don't have him on our team, and he was there for the picking. I
agree. They should have added another receiver. They should have added another edge.
We talked about this all summer long. We talked about add an edge rusher, add a Clowney, add a second receiver, and it fell on deaf ears. It's like we know this team, Jake, so much better. It's just like, are they that stupid, or are they just don't want? I mean, what did Johnson tell these guys? I'm not going to open a checkbook. Good luck this year. We're just going to try to get a top quarterback or something. What did he do?
I think they misevaluated some of the roster too. I think they thought they had better players than they actually did.
Well, look, I don't, originally I thought to myself, this is a get right game for Miami. They're going, Tua's going to toss the ball up, and guys are going to be wide open, and it's going to look like like the Keystone Cops. But I'm changing my mind the closer we get to this game. I think we're going to run the ball, control the clock, and we're going to keep it close, and we'll get a turnover on Tua. I mean, he's a turnover machine too, And if we get him to throw the ball and we could get some interior pass rush on him, how's the Dolphin offensive line injury situation? I think they're banged up too, aren't they?
I have to look. I haven't.
Not that it didn't help us last week. I mean,
once again, in the previous week, Oliver's not playing for Buffalo, and how'd that go? So the Jets need to get their own bleep figured out. Now, if you do want a positive stat, Mike McDaniel's career record in primetime is terrible. So after they lost last Thursday night, he holds the 5th worst record in primetime games among 73 head coaches, with at least 10 such games coached in the Super Bowl era. And it's kind of funny because on here is another former Dolphin head coach. Adam Gase was 2-10 in primetime. We Jet fans know that well. But McDaniel's 3-10 in primetime games as a head coach. So if the Jets can't win this game now, when are they going to beat the Dolphins?
But this is the game we have to have just to salvage the season. If I got to hear about what quarterback we're going to take and we start talking about the draft before October 1st, I might lose my fucking gourd, because I hate the draft. I hate talking about college football players. To me, they all suck. And you know what? I don't want to talk about that, Jake. I know you don't. I know the last thing you want to talk about is drafts.
No, yeah. Don't want to do it.
Look, I mean, come on. We win this game. We come back for the Cowboy game. The schedule is not daunting.
I just want to win so we could enjoy a win. It's too early to be talking about draft talk and where they're picking. Like win games, man. I want to see Aaron Glenn do well. I want him to get his first win as a head coach. Let's go.
And I will say this, what is winning in the beginning of the season done for us in the last 10 years? I mean, how many times did we start 6-3 and we shit the bed? How many times are we 4-2 and we shit the bed? Maybe this is better, 0-3. We could wake up and
not 0-4 though.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
but I mean, gain some momentum. If we get the one win, that's going to change a lot for us. I mean, we'll be a little more confident. Fields will get more confidence, and winning against Miami will be big because. And another thing I really like, Jake. I mean, it can't be hotter than it was in Tampa and Miami this weekend. It can't be hotter, right?
No, and it's at least at night. Yeah, it's at least at night too.
Oh, that's right. It's Monday Night Football. There you go. I mean, at least they got used to the heat for this week. You know what I'm saying? If there's any golden, you don't want to go to a hot September game in Miami. Miami's record in September at home is probably phenomenal the last 10 years because you can't beat them in that stadium in a day game because of the heat you experienced in Tampa. It's the same way. I sat next to a woman. I went to the game in Miami real quick, and I'm at the game, and it's so hot. All right? That was the game Aaron Glenn got the interception and ran it back that we were all excited about many, many moons ago. Remember that game?
I do remember that game.
Okay. It was 100 degrees, like you just experienced, right? It was so hot.
Week 13 in 1994. You were there, Neil?
Yeah, I was there. Okay. I was at a lot of Miami games. I used to love going to Miami. I stayed at the Delano Hotel. We used to take a limo over to the game. One day I was on the beach with George Clooney. You know, Michelle didn't come with me to the game. So we were all guys, right? So one day I'm on the beach at the Delano Hotel, and who goes and sits next to us? George Clooney, right? He sits next to us in a beach chair. I'm with my buddy Joe, who doesn't watch movies. He has no idea who George Clooney is from a fucking hole in the wall, right? So George Clooney sits down in a beach chair with his buddy, and all of a sudden, all these girls start surrounding him. And all you're seeing is butt cracks and beautiful women walk around. And my buddy Joe's like, who is this freaking guy? I go, that's George Clooney. I call up my Michelle. I said, you know, I'm sitting next to on the beach. I go, George Clooney. She says, F you. And bang, he hangs up the phone on me, right? So when he's done, he gets up. He's not a tall guy. He's only like 5'7". He gets up, and my buddy Joe says, hey, buddy, thanks for the view. Because of all the girls around him. You know? Thanks for the view. He had like the most beautiful women around him. But my final point, we're at the stadium, and there's a 90-year-old woman sitting next to me. And we go in the stadium, and I'm screaming as I always do. At halftime, we went in and rinsed our shirts in the warm water and put them back on. It was so hot. This woman looks at me and goes, you know, this is the first time I sweated in 35 years. I've never sweat in 35 years. She was sweating, and she was like 90. I'm like, ma'am, you better go inside and get some air conditioning because, you know, you might not finish this game. And then after the game, we all went to Shooters. You know, Shooters in Fort Lauderdale? You know that place? Where they have all the boats that come up. We go to Shooters. We all jump in the water. In the pool. The water was like 97 degrees. It was disgusting. But anyway, little story time with Neil. Have a great day, everyone.
Are we flying down, Neil? We going down. We're making a day of it. Fly in Monday morning. Go to the game. Fly out on one of your jets right after. Do the post-game show from the private plane.
I'm trying to get a trip right now. Vogue magazine is doing 3 VIP 100-seat jets to Milan to do a photo shoot. I'm trying to get the trip right now as we speak. I was up 4 o'clock in the morning talking to you.
Wow.
$1.3 million trip one way from Toronto to Milan, Italy. And I'm waiting for this woman to call me back. She's not calling me back. I'm panicking right now. So I don't think I'm going to get the trip, but I was dreaming about it all night. You know, I don't have to tell you, 1.2 million would be a nice little commission for Neely and the crew. That might get me down to Miami. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Let's go, Jets. We're going to cut this game this week. Let's just get a win. We just need one win to get everybody back on track. And that's it. We're going to win the game. We got to win this game. There's just no two ways about it. I can't see another loss. And certainly I'm not going to go to Miami. I'd love to be 2-3 for your Carolina game. That would be nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, always the optimist, Neil.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Legend. George Clooney's butt cheeks, ladies and gentlemen. Or butt cheeks near George Clooney. We get it all on this show. Watching clips of Clemens, he may be the worst player in the NFL. He is so bad, literally can't play. Either over pursues or gets manhandled or gets a personal foul. He stinks. And it's on Glenn and Muji why he's still playing. Don't blame Salah. Don't blame Douglas. Blame them. They kept him. They didn't address edge. They didn't do it adequately in free agency. They didn't do it adequately over the summer when we knew it was still a problem. Obviously, we didn't think Jermaine would get hurt in week 2, but you know what? You had to account for the fact that he's coming off a major injury, and there was a chance that he wouldn't be able to give you as many snaps as he already gave you. And then, unfortunately, he had an ankle thing. Hopefully, he can play this week. I don't know what his status is. Barbarossa says, one of my favorite Neil stories. That one and the guinea pig story are classics. We might need to do an Azzy award for the best Neil story this summer. Guinea pig story, the Vinny Testaverde story, the Joe Tippmann story, the story he just told with Clooney. All-Star Chris, Tales from the Humidor. I love it. Unreal. All right, last chance here to enter the raffle because I am adding all the names, and we got 3 prizes here, folks. 3 given away all at once. And reminder, everyone who entered today, you're also already qualified for next week. It's a little 2-for-1 special. Trying to do something positive here. Getting back, by the way, to the stat I showed during Neil's call. Started 3-0. Or started 0-3 with 0 takeaways, and the Jets and Dolphins are both part of NFL history. Ineptitude here. That's why I've been screaming about how disappointed I am in the defense. Because there's no excuse for the investments they made in that unit to not be able to go out there and handle your business, man. Period. It's unacceptable. They should be so much better. Now, what is positive is that stat I gave you about McDaniel in primetime, though. Because he ain't good. For those curious, I'll put it up on the screen here. This is from ESPN Research. So this is the worst coaches that have coached at least 10 games in primetime, what their records are. George Wilson, 0-8-2 is number 1 all time. Dick Jawan, dude, he was so bad. He was the coach when the Jets beat the Bills in 0-8 when they stole that game as they were in the midst of collapsing. Sean Ellis had that touchdown run on the fumble. I think it was J.P. Lossman was the Bills quarterback then. That's when Dick Jawan was the Bills coach. Adam Gase, some of those primetime losses we know firsthand as Jet fans. The Sam Darnold seeing ghost game. The week 2 game when Simeon got hurt right away when Myles Garrett broke his leg, and that brought us Luke Falk. The Ravens debacle on Thursday night. The Denver debacle in 2020 at home, where Darnold had that long touchdown run and they did nothing else. Am I missing any other Gase primetime games? Like I just named 4. So 4 of those losses of the 2-10 with Gase happened as the Jet coach. Dennis Allen was 2-10. Brian Dable's horrendous too. Wow, 2-9. We saw that on Sunday night, another loss there. And then Mike McDaniel, 3-10. Zach Tendler has gifted a membership. Zach, well done, sir. You are in the raffle for 1 with this. All right. It's almost that time, folks. But first, a short clip must be played. And then the Wheel of Champions shall be spun. Ladies and gentlemen, Robby Sabo does a tremendous job. But many are saying, what would happen if a second Robby Sabo called in to talk Jets and provide a breakdown? Robby Sabo 2 joins us. Hello, Robby.
Hey, Jake. I've just lost on this team right now. The chat can kill me, make fun of my pale skin, my freakishly healthy hair, my subway sign that I stole from the 42nd Street stop just to confuse some old lady who pissed me off. All of those things said, I'm still confused about this beast guy. So he lives in his attic, like alone or with his mom. he has all these awards and trophies. Jake, there's an opening at X Factor. I need a big guy like Beast to protect Fialco from all the ladies trying to help him through puberty. Poor kid is traded in his lunchbox and sippy cup for a Happy Meal. Go Jets and follow X Factor. Don't ask me for the web address. I don't know it. See you, Jake.
Thanks, Robby, too.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, time for the weekly raffle. 3 signed footballs. A signed football by the greatest corner ever, Darrelle Revis. My GOAT, Sauce Gardner, and Wayne Corbett. Those are the top prizes. Only one can win. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to everyone. Reminder, you only can win 1 prize per raffle. So we got 3 to give away. And let's find out who's going to win the first prize. A signed Revis football. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the Lump Man. He's on vacation in Atlantic City, and he's coming back with a signed football by Darrelle Revis. How about it? Congrats to Luppy. That's awesome. Luppy, your first winner. Prize 2, Sauce Gardner signed ball. The winner is Derek. Derek, who calls us from Kansas City, the Jayhawks fan, diehard Jet fan. Winner number 2. Congrats, Derek. Our final winner of a Wayne Corbett signed football is Damien. Hey, Damien Virgilo. Damien de Virgilo. I always screw up Damien's last name. I just refer to him as Damien. Damien, a longtime supporter, sat next to Damien last year at the home opener for the Jets and the Pats. It was him, me, and my friend Jake. Damien brought a friend as well. We had a great time. So, Damien, congrats to you. Thank you so much for your support. And I will make sure that we get these sent out to our listeners. So, once again, Luppy won the Revis ball. Derek won the Sauce football. And Damien won the Wayne Corbett football. And you know what? I'm in a giving mood. I'm going to give away one more item. A Garrett Wilson shirt from my merch store. Ladies and gentlemen, our final winner is Nick Shine. How about that? Nick Shine, you're a winner. He did it. He entered, he won. Nick Shine, what is your t-shirt size? Congrats to Nick. Congrats to our 4 winners. A thank you to everyone who supports the show and these raffles. We couldn't do it without you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you, but I'm going to leave you with something that I think you'll enjoy. This was sent to me over the weekend by Daz Bradford, a.k.a. Daz Acoustic. He put together the Asmaniac anthem. If you're a channel member, you probably already saw this. For everyone else, we play you out with this. Go Jets, Joe Blewett film review, 4 p.m. Eastern today. See you there.
It's 5 o'clock on a Sunday. and watch the game. The show is a home for Asmaniacs. Defeat us and optimists too. And though Sunday will fade, by Wednesday we pray. A win next week we pursue. Here's to you, the Asmaniacs. Doing a Jets chant tonight. Shout it loud, wild and proud. Because losing just doesn't feel right. Here's to you, the Asmaniacs. Doing a Jets chant tonight. Shout it loud, wild and proud. Because losing just doesn't feel right. Because losing just doesn't feel right.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.